Welcome to a brand new episode of Lunch with Doug, a unique and fun experience brought to you by the creative minds at the Music Exerbia Project. We're here today thanks to the generous support of our esteemed sponsors. John's Barbershop, located at 121 West Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Open Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Walk-in only, no appointment needed. American Legion Post number 2, located at 402 East Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Newly remodeled with a clean, fresh look, gaming machines, and new smoke heaters. Open to the public. Express Printing and Hydro Dipping, Nevada's #1 full-service shop. Print, signage, banners, decals, hydrographics, tinting, and headlight restoration. Located at 14138 East Highway 54, just west of Mr. D's, 417-448-6444. The Precision Coffee Company, located at 224 East Walnut in Nevada, Missouri. Coffee, organic teas, specialty coffee drinks, smoothies, and fresh baked pastries. We're your local. On the show today, as promised, Kalli at On My Own. How are you today, Kalli?
I'm doing wonderful, Doug. How are you?
Great, and it's always great to have you on the show. I know you've been on the show once before. For the listeners out there, what is your role there at On My Own?
Yeah, of course. So at On My Own, I do the marketing and community relations. So I'm just out in the community a lot. We serve 5 communities. We've got Bates County, we've got Cedar, Hickory, St. Clair, and Vernon.
You got your hands full.
Yeah, hey, that's one of my favorite things to do. I like to stay busy, so it's helpful. I'm in a good role for that.
Never a dull moment when you've got lots of stuff going on.
Correct. Never.
And you have got several things coming up. What do you got cooking?
Yeah, so May is definitely looking busy for On My Own. We've got, starting it off May 1st, 5:30 to 7. Annually, we host our garden kickoff events. We do that in conjunction with May Day. So that is May 1st here at On My Own Incorporated, located 428 East Highland Avenue in Nevada. We're going to start that at 5:30, and that event will go till 7. We're going to have some garden activities, some garden lessons provided by different community members. And then, as always, we always serve the community food. So we'll have hot dogs, chips, and drinks as well.
That sounds like a good time right there.
Yeah, we do. Then we dance around the maypole too. It's just kind of a little tradition for May Day.
Yeah, and I don't see that. I don't see that as much as when I was a kid. I remember we always did that, but I don't know how its origin or anything. But yeah, I don't see it as much as it once was. So yeah. Yeah,
well, we're trying to bring it back here at On My Own. So
I like it. That's good. That's good. Very festive. Very festive. So you got some other stuff coming up as well.
Yeah. So following that May Day event, our next event will be May 12th. We are doing a hiring event for anybody in all 5 of our counties who are looking for work. So once again, that's Bates, Cedar, Hickory, St. Clair, and Vernon. So if you are looking for work in any of those 5 counties, you can come to On My Own Incorporated on May 12th, and that's open all day long. So that will be 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you want to kind of just get a feel for what that would look like to be a care attendant or an in-home aide at On My Own, you can come here. We'll have, snacks. We'll do some cookies, tea, water. We'll have coffee for everybody. And that would just give you a good opportunity to ask Nancy, who is our hiring specialist in those departments, just ask her all the questions and figure out what all it would take for you to, to care for seniors and people with disabilities in their homes.
Very cool. Very cool. And you guys have jobs, I guess, at the facility as well. And then you have jobs that are at residents or people's houses, right?
Yeah. So currently right now, we're not hiring for our in-house positions, but we always are hiring in the counties that we serve. Why we always hire is we take on a lot of clients, and these clients, they need caregivers. Right now, we have a lot of caregivers who are waitlisted because we can't find individuals who can care for them in their home. So it's a really critical time for needing individuals who maybe they don't want to work full time, they want to work part time. That's the glory of working for On My Own. It's flexible scheduling. depending on how many clients you want to take on. So if you only have availability for maybe one or two, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to work full time with us. There are benefits packages available to those who do work for us. And you also get, of course, your hourly pay, plus you get your gas reimbursement back as well.
That's very nice. And here's a question I had just as you was talking and speaking. I guess what I'm thinking about this, I'm wondering about, and maybe I don't know if this is a fair question to ask on the interview or not, but the certifications, is it something that you guys like? You would train someone that had no experience, or are you looking for people that have some sort of certification or experience in that field?
So the glory of, once again, working for us is, a lot of times just as individuals, we think we don't have experience. But if you have literally cared for anybody, just whether that be, you've taken care of your mother for a day, or you've helped with a grandmother, or you have children and, you have provided care, that is your experience right there. You have cared for another individual, whether you see it that way or not. Now, on my own, we do supply that training. So all of our in-home aides, all of our consumer-directed care attendants, they do get training from us that allow them to go into the field. Now, if you have a CNA certificate, or you have additional, any nursing degree or stuff like that, we might have different roles for you. But just for our in-home aides and our consumer-directed care providers, we supply all that training. So if you think you want to get into the healthcare field and don't really know what that looks like, On My Own's a great starting point without having to attend school and all that.
Fantastic. That was great. I figured I was having the question as I was thinking maybe the listener would be interested in that as well. So
no, yeah, that's always helpful, because definitely they might be thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah. Now you've got there was a third event I think you have coming up as well that you were going to tell us about.
So like I said, that hiring event is on the 12th of May, anywhere, anytime between 6 and 8 p.m. 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. And then we have our disability awareness luncheon. So this fundraiser, On My Own, we've done for, over 10 years now. So this is an annual event that we host. This year it is May 14th. It's at 11 to 2 p.m. And what we do this day is it's pulled pork sandwiches. So we bring you out a plate lunch. So you get your sandwich, you get your pickle, your chips, your cookie, and then we bring a water bottle as well. These plates are $10 per plate. So we hit up like a lot of local businesses and just, community members. And what this supports is the On My Own Foundation. So the On My Own Foundation, for those who don't know, we're constantly trying to raise money for, because it supports things like, seniors aging in place. A lot of times, those seniors need additional pieces, or it might be an individual who's not a senior and just has a disability and they don't qualify for Medicaid. And so if you are trying to get an in-home care attendant or you're a senior and you need somebody to come into your house and just do like weekly checks, this allows that person to have funding in order to do that, which is so important, because, it is costly sometimes to have somebody come out to the house and check on you, especially for those seniors who live in areas where services are harder to find. This program is great for them. It's called the Age My Way program through On My Own. And we go out and we seek funding to help these people who need additional care in the house and might not be able to afford it. The On My Own Foundation also supports youth scholarships. So if there's any youth that, they might have a disability themselves, or they have a loved one in the home who has a disability, they qualify for that scholarship, and that just helps them continue their education. Another thing the On My Own Foundation helps support are ramps and home modifications. So if you're an individual and you can't even leave your home because you need an accessible ramp to get in and out, the On My Own Foundation helps support that program as well.
Wow. Yeah. That was very informative. I've actually am sort of paying attention to things in the community, and I didn't know some of those things. So very good.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. So yeah, this fundraiser May 14th. Once again, it's a really big deal for On My Own. Last year we sold 356 plates, and this year we're aiming to sell 400. And so that money, like I said, once again goes directly to the On My Own Foundation, and it's a big help for these people who need it.
Yeah, it sounds like it, for real. Worthy,
Yeah.
definitely worthy cause. I'm glad that one. I knew you having some events, but that one definitely sounds very worthwhile. Now, if it's something that they can't make it to, say they can't attend the event, is there some way they can donate online to On My Own?
Yes. So we have on our website at the very top, it just, it says donate today, and it takes you to our foundation link. And it's just a great opportunity for, if you're feeling it in your heart that day, or you just want to give back to seniors or people with disabilities. It is always greatly appreciated. And we have all information. If you're out there and you're listening right now and you are looking for a good cause to donate to, and you're just not certain, you can always come out to On My Own. You can always ask to speak with me. My name's Kalli, last name Gober. And I would be more than happy to talk to you about the On My Own Foundation and what your support will benefit from.
Fantastic. Tell us something else. There's probably a question that's out there that maybe is something that people don't a lot of times know, or that you commonly get asked just about On My Own in general. Tell us something there.
Yeah. So, On My Own is a center for independent living. Sometimes people think, we're like a nursing home, or we have like, an in-house facility where we house people, and it can be confusing. But, and another thing that can be confusing too is that we are not the center for independent living. We are just a center. There are 21 other centers in the state of Missouri. So what we do is we divide and conquer the state of Missouri. And that's why, we have our 5 counties. So if something doesn't help you in the 5 counties that we serve, we link you to the other center that is in your area. And they supply pretty much the same services that we do. And so I like to let people know that, we are just one of these centers in the state of Missouri. And if we can't help you with something, we are going to refer you somewhere else and make sure you're getting, the good quality care that you deserve.
Fantastic. Yeah, you guys are all in the same game. It's not like you're competing. You're a joint effort for the betterment of humanity, I guess I should
Correct.
say.
Yeah, we never, ever want to compete. We always work together, and we even attend conferences together. The MoSIL is kind of like our umbrella that we fall under. And so we listen to them and we work together, and we continue to, make sure we're doing all the things that we can do in order to better serve our community and the members that fall within that.
Very good. Very good. Man, you just opened up a lot of things for me, and I hope the listeners got some in there too, some information that they didn't know. And like I said, I've been kind of paying attention to On My Own, and some of these things are opening up just my gears are rolling. So I appreciate the information. Sure. I know you're busy. I'll cut it out of here, but is there anything else you'd like to share with us and the listeners today before we end the call?
Yeah. Once again, thanks for having me. I definitely appreciate being here. I'm always available anytime I need to jump on and, answer any questions. Anytime anybody needs On My Own, you can contact us at 417-667-7007. If you don't know who you're looking for or who you need to talk to, we'll make sure you get to the appropriate person. And then if you know anybody who is considering being in the healthcare field and just have a passion for helping people, we would love to have you work at our facility. And we're always available to answer any questions that anybody might have.
Well, thank you for the information today, Kalli, and thanks for being on the show. And we appreciate your contributions to humanity.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. I know you do a lot for the community as well, Doug. So that's always, it's always very thankful to have you. So
Thanks a lot, Kalli.
all right.
Once again, thanks for spending your lunchtime with me today on this episode of Lunch with Doug. We're here today thanks to the generous support of our esteemed sponsors. John's Barbershop, located at 121 West Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Open Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Walk-in only, no appointment needed. American Legion Post number 2, located at 402 East Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Newly remodeled with a clean, fresh look, gaming machines, and new smoke heaters. Open to the public. Express Printing and Hydro Dipping, Nevada's #1 full-service shop. Print, signage, banners, decals, hydrographics, tinting, and headlight restoration. Located at 14138 East Highway 54, just west of Mr. D's. 417-448-6444. The Precision Coffee Company, located at 224 East Walnut in Nevada, Missouri. Coffee, organic teas, specialty coffee drinks, smoothies, and fresh baked pastries. We're your local.